Now, the way an organization rewards its employees is critical to the overall productivity and success of the business. The South African Reward Association says, as a result, reward management must link directly to the changing needs of the organization to ensure that employees are suitably aligned. Mclachlan is Executive Committee member at SARA and joins us now for this discussion. Claire, thanks so much for your time today. One would think this is a no-brainer, right? Just make sure that your people are happy in your organization and you'll have productivity. How are organizations getting it wrong?
Well, many of the reward practices, and when we talk about reward, we talk about total reward. So it's not just the money we pay you. It's about the whole package as an employee. Many of those practices were really designed in an industrial era, and they're not applicable to the changing workforce. Jacques was just talking about how the branch network is changing. The functions are changing. So how do we ensure that we are equipping our staff and putting them in the correct frame of mind through our total rewards practices to deliver according to what the business needs are?
Yeah, it sounds like one would need to reimagine human resources, for example, because the way things happen now is it feels like it's a clock in, clock out situation and will reward you for the time you've spent eyeballing your desk, for example.
Yeah, it's definitely changed. So previously it used to be you make widgets, 10 widgets, you know exactly if you're doing well or not. Now we're asking a lot more of employees. We want them to be able to think on the spot, to problem solve, to innovate, to engage with customers. A lot of the roles are changing, so we were talking about, let machines do the work that people can't do. So how do we ensure that people are equipped to do that? And we can use things like our reward practices, our recognition practices to help drive employees in that direction.
So how is this changing? What are some of the new trends in reward management then?
At the moment, there's a huge trend globally around performance management. So where we see in the traditional performance management approach, it was typically you set goals at the beginning of the year, you kind of don't talk to anyone, at the end of the year you judged.
And go tick a box.
Tick a box, and often you are being judged on goals that change throughout the year, but it doesn't matter, this is what we said we're going to judge you on, so we are. Whereas now we're looking at, it's much shorter goal setting cycles, so quarterly, it could be monthly. For some teams it might be relevant to do weekly or daily goal setting, and then it's about a coaching relationship with managers to help the employee move from where they are to actually achieve the results.
And how much should employees be part of developing this?
Well, and that's another fundamental shift. So historically it's been very top down. Now with talent, very much like in the consumer world where the power has shifted to consumers, the power has actually shifted to employees. And it's up to employees to own their careers, to own their future, to own their own development and their performance and their engagement. The organization can put in place things that support them and enable that, but ultimately we're looking at owning that, and then there's a shared responsibility.
Okay, within the organization, who drives it? Does it have to be embraced by the board, the executive management, so that it trickles down? Or how would you approach it?
Everything starts with leadership. It's what I like to refer to from Sen Delaney, a consultancy in the States, called the shadow of leadership. And the higher up you are, the further your shadow falls. And so if leaders are not living according to this new way, it's very unlikely that the change is going to happen lower down in the organization.
All right. So they have to have that buy-in from the top. We'll leave it there. Thanks for your time. Today, Claire Mclachlan is Executive Committee member at the South African Reward Association. Our